Life doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, confused, or if you feel like you don't belong. The world keeps moving, and it's up to you to decide if you're going to sit on the sidelines feeling lost or step up and take control. Feeling lost is normal. It's part of being human. But staying lost, that's a choice. You're not lost because the path disappeared. You're lost because you stopped looking. You're stuck in your own head, overthinking, doubting yourself, and waiting for someone to come along and show you the way. Guess what? No one's coming. No map, no guide, no magical answer is going to appear. You've got to stop waiting and start moving. You might not know exactly where you're going, but motion beats sitting in the same spot, doing nothing. Here's the truth. No one has it all figured out. Even the people you admire, the ones you think have perfect lives, are battling their own doubts. The difference, they move anyway. They don't let confusion paralyze them. They take the first step, then the next, and they keep going until they figure it out. So you feel lost? Good. That means you've recognized something isn't right, and now you've got the opportunity to fix it. But fixing it requires action. It requires grit. Stop waiting for clarity. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is what gets you through. Decide today that you're done sitting around feeling sorry for yourself. Set a goal, no matter how small. Get up early. Work on yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. Push yourself into discomfort, because that's where you'll find the pieces of yourself you thought were missing. The world isn't going to hand you a path. You've got to carve it out of the chaos. You've been through tough times before. Don't forget that. You've already proven you can survive the hard stuff. So now it's time to thrive. It's time to stop feeling lost and start feeling unstoppable. It's not going to be easy. It's going to hurt. But every step forward, every moment you refuse to quit, you're proving to yourself that you're stronger than the doubt, the fear, and the confusion. Life is short, and feeling lost is just an excuse to stay comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Get uncomfortable. Get moving. And never, ever let yourself stay lost again. The only way out is through, and you've got what it takes to find your way. Now go do it. Feeling lost is a sensation everyone encounters at some point in life. It creeps in when plans fail, when uncertainty looms, or when the path ahead feels obscured by doubt. But the truth is, feeling lost is not the end of the road, it's the beginning of transformation. It's an indicator that something deeper within you is calling for attention. Instead of fearing it or trying to bury it under distractions, recognize it for what it is, an opportunity to reevaluate and grow. When you feel lost, it's a moment of reckoning. It's your mind and body signaling that the current direction is no longer serving you, or that you've outgrown the space you've been occupying. Rather than seeing this as a failure, understand that it's a normal part of evolving as a person. Change is uncomfortable, but it's also necessary. Feeling lost is the wake-up call you didn't ask for but desperately need. It's the universe or life itself pushing you out of stagnation and into something greater. But before you can move forward, you have to face it honestly. The first step is to sit with that discomfort instead of running from it. In a world that prizes constant productivity and success, it's tempting to mask feelings of being lost with busyness or distractions. People scroll through social media, binge watch shows, or drown themselves in work to avoid facing the unsettling void they feel inside. But avoiding it doesn't solve the problem, it prolongs it. You can't navigate your way out of a maze by ignoring it exists. The act of acknowledging your lostness is not weakness, it's strength. It's the courage to admit that something needs to change. Once you recognize where you are, you can begin to shift your perspective. Being lost isn't a dead end. It's a blank canvas. It's a chance to rewrite your story, redefine your goals, and rediscover your passions. When you feel lost, you're not bound by the expectations you've placed on yourself or the limitations others have imposed. You have the freedom to step back, assess your life, and decide what truly matters to you. What have you been pursuing that no longer fulfills you? What dreams have you neglected because fear or doubt held you back? These questions are uncomfortable, but they're also essential. They force you to confront truths you might otherwise avoid. Feeling lost is a sign that it's time to reconnect with yourself. It's easy to lose sight of who you are amidst the noise of everyday life, work, relationships, obligations, and the endless cycle of responsibilities. But when everything feels uncertain, the one thing you can always turn to is yourself. Reflect on your values, your strengths, and the experiences that have shaped you. Sometimes the answers you're searching for aren't out in the world, they're within you. Trust that the process of self-discovery will guide you toward clarity. Recognizing feeling lost as an opportunity also means understanding that it's temporary. Just like a storm eventually clears to reveal a sunny sky, the fog of uncertainty will lift when you start taking steps forward. It might not happen overnight, and it likely won't be easy, but the fact that you feel lost means you're in motion. It means you're seeking something better, and that's a powerful place to be. Instead of resisting the discomfort, lean into it. Treat it as a signal to recalibrate and realign your actions with your purpose. There's no shame in feeling lost. Everyone faces moments when the map they've been following no longer makes sense. The key is to view it not as a failure, but as an opportunity to grow. Being lost pushes you to question what you want, what you value, and who you are. It's a reset button, giving you the chance to strip away what's unnecessary and focus on what truly matters. You're not stuck, you're just being challenged to create a new direction. That's where transformation begins. When you feel lost, the temptation is to wait for clarity, wait for motivation, wait for a sign that the next step is the right one. But waiting is a trap. It's the illusion of safety, a false sense of doing something when in reality you're standing still. The hard truth is that clarity doesn't come from thinking about the next step, it comes from taking it. Action beats hesitation every time, and the only way out of feeling lost is to move forward, even if you don't know exactly where you're going. Many people get stuck in the cycle of overthinking. They analyze every possible path, every potential risk, and every what if, hoping to find a perfect plan that guarantees success. But perfection doesn't exist, and the search for it often leads to paralysis. You end up spinning your wheels, convincing yourself you're being careful when in reality, you're just afraid to act. Fear of failure, fear of making the wrong decision, fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, these fears keep you stuck in place. The irony is that the only way to overcome them is through action. Taking action, even small steps, breaks the mental gridlock. When you move, you engage with the world instead of staying trapped in your head. You give yourself the opportunity to learn, adjust, and grow. No action is wasted, even if it doesn't immediately lead to the outcome you hope for. Every step teaches you something about yourself, the world, or the path you're on. Movement creates momentum, and momentum is what pulls you out of the quicksand of indecision. The key is to stop fixating on the big picture and start focusing on what you can do right now. You don't need to have your entire journey mapped out, you just need to take the next step. Maybe that step is as small as getting out of bed earlier, committing to a workout, or writing down a single goal for the day. These might seem insignificant, but they're not. Each small action builds confidence and sets the stage for larger moves. Progress compounds over time, and the more you do, the clearer your path becomes. When you're feeling lost, it's easy to think that you need to know exactly where you're going before you start. But the truth is, direction often reveals itself in the process of moving. Imagine walking through a dense fog. Standing still won't make the path visible. You have to take a step forward to see even a few feet ahead. Life works the same way. The clarity you're seeking is waiting on the other side of action. The more you engage, the more the fog begins to lift. It's also important to understand that action doesn't have to be perfect. You're allowed to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are an essential part of finding your way. Each misstep provides valuable feedback, showing you what doesn't work and steering you closer to what does. The only true failure is refusing to move. The fear of doing the wrong thing often holds people back, but staying still guarantees you stay stuck. Movement, even in the face of uncertainty, is always better than inaction. Another benefit of action is that it shifts your mindset. When you're stuck in a cycle of feeling lost, it's easy to fall into a victim mentality, believing that life is happening to you and that you're powerless to change it. But every time you take a step, no matter how small, you reclaim your power. You remind yourself that you're in control of your choices and your direction. You might not be able to control every outcome, but you can control how you respond and what you do next. Stop waiting for permission for the perfect time or for someone else to guide you. No one else is coming to save you or give you the answers you're looking for. The answers come from within, and they reveal themselves as you move. Waiting feels safe, but it's a false safety. The longer you wait, the deeper the rut becomes, and the harder it is to climb out. Action, on the other hand, is liberating. It's the antidote to feeling lost, and it's entirely within your control. Start now. Take one step and then another. Don't overthink it, and don't worry about whether it's perfect. Just move. Every small action you take is a victory, a step closer to rediscovering your purpose and direction. The world rewards those who refuse to stay stuck, who push forward even when the path isn't clear. And the moment you stop waiting and start moving, you've already begun to find your way. Motivation is fleeting. It's an emotional spark that feels great in the moment but rarely lasts. You've experienced it before, watching a powerful video, reading an inspiring quote, or hearing a story that fires you up. For a while, you feel unstoppable, ready to tackle anything. But then life happens. The alarm clock goes off, your responsibilities pile up, and that surge of energy fades into the background. This is why relying on motivation is a trap. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never achieve anything worthwhile. The solution isn't motivation, it's discipline. Discipline is the backbone of progress. It's what keeps you moving forward when motivation has disappeared. It's the habit of showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel. Discipline doesn't care about your emotions, your circumstances, or how hard things are. It's about commitment to your goals, no matter what. Discipline separates the people who achieve their dreams from those who get stuck in the cycle of starting and stopping, always waiting for the next wave of motivation to carry them forward. Developing discipline starts with recognizing that feelings are temporary, but actions have lasting impact. You won't always feel like getting out of bed early, going to the gym, or putting in the work toward your goals. In fact, most of the time you won't. The key is to act anyway. The more you practice acting in spite of your feelings, the stronger your discipline becomes. Over time, it becomes second nature, a habit that doesn't rely on how motivated you are in the moment. Building discipline isn't about making huge, overwhelming changes overnight. It's about consistency. Start small. Commit to doing one thing every day, no matter how insignificant it seems. Maybe it's writing for 10 minutes, going for a short walk, or completing a single task you've been avoiding. The goal is to train your mind to prioritize action over emotion. Each small victory builds confidence and reinforces the belief that you're capable of sticking to your commitments. The beauty of discipline is that it creates momentum. When you consistently show up and put in the effort, you begin to see results. Those results, in turn, fuel your motivation. But now, instead of being driven by fleeting inspiration, you're being driven by progress. Progress is a powerful motivator, and it's born out of disciplined action. The more you do, the more capable you feel, and the more you want to keep going. It's a positive cycle that starts with discipline, not the other way around. Discipline also helps you push through the inevitable obstacles that come your way. Life is unpredictable and challenges are guaranteed. There will be days when everything feels harder than it should, when setbacks threaten to derail your progress. On those days, motivation will abandon you. Discipline is what gets you through. It's the voice in your head that says, "This is hard, but I can do hard things." It's the inner strength to keep going, even when it feels like the odds are against you. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to build resilience. Every time you show up, especially when you don't feel like it, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. You develop mental toughness, the ability to face discomfort and push through it. This toughness isn't just useful for achieving goals, it's a skill that carries over into every aspect of life. When you're disciplined, you become someone who can handle adversity with grace and determination. Another important element of discipline is that it creates structure. When you're feeling lost, structure can be a lifeline. Having a routine, even a simple one, provides a sense of control and stability. It gives your day purpose and direction, helping you stay focused on what matters instead of getting caught up in distractions or doubts. Discipline doesn't eliminate uncertainty, but it gives you a framework to navigate through it. Discipline is freedom. It frees you from the chaos of living reactively, constantly swayed by emotions and external circumstances. With discipline, you take control of your life. You decide what matters and commit to making it happen, no matter how long it takes or how hard it gets. This isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Discipline isn't about never failing, it's about getting back up every time you do. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Start training yourself to act regardless of your emotions. The more you prioritize discipline, the more you'll realize that motivation is just the spark. Discipline is the fire that keeps you going, and it's entirely within your control. Every day you choose discipline over comfort, you're proving to yourself that you have what it takes to create the life you want. Discomfort is where growth happens. Yet most people spend their lives running from it, avoiding anything that feels challenging, awkward, or uncertain. They cling to their comfort zones, telling themselves that staying safe is the right thing to do. But comfort is a trap. It lulls you into complacency, keeping you stuck in the same patterns, the same routines, and the same mindset. If you want to stop feeling lost and start building a life that excites and fulfills you, you must embrace discomfort. You have to stop seeing it as the enemy and start treating it as your greatest teacher. Discomfort is a signal that you're stepping into uncharted territory. It's the feeling you get when you're trying something new, pushing yourself beyond what's easy, or confronting a fear you've been avoiding. It's uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. But that's exactly why it's valuable. Growth doesn't happen in the familiar. It happens when you stretch yourself, take risks, and face the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. Discomfort is the price you pay for progress, and the sooner you accept that, the faster you'll move forward. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is that we need to feel ready before we take on a challenge. I'll do it when I feel more confident, or I'll start when the time is right. But the truth is, confidence comes from doing, not waiting. You won't feel ready to take on something new until you've already started. The discomfort you feel at the beginning is part of the process. It's how you build the skills, resilience, and belief in yourself that eventually make you confident. Waiting for readiness is just another way of avoiding discomfort, and it keeps you stuck in the same place. Facing discomfort doesn't mean diving into the deep end all at once. It means gradually expanding your comfort zone by taking on challenges that are just outside of what feels easy. Think of it like building a muscle. You don't start lifting the heaviest weight in the gym on day one. You start with something manageable and increase the load as you get stronger. The same principle applies to personal growth. Start with small acts of discomfort, having a difficult conversation, trying a new skill, or setting a boundary you've been avoiding. Each time you step into discomfort, you're training yourself to handle more. Discomfort is also a powerful way to uncover your potential. Most people have no idea what they're capable of because they've never pushed themselves to find out. They live within the limits of what feels safe, never realizing that their true strength lies beyond those boundaries. The only way to discover your potential is to test it. When you challenge yourself to do something hard, something that makes you doubt yourself, you'll often surprise yourself with what you can achieve. And even if you don't succeed right away, the act of trying builds resilience and self-belief. It's important to understand that discomfort is temporary, but the growth it brings is permanent. The pain of stepping outside your comfort zone doesn't last forever. Whether it's the burn of a tough workout, the fear of speaking up, or the struggle of learning something new, the discomfort eventually fades. What stays with you is the strength, knowledge, and confidence you gain from facing it. Each time you choose to push through discomfort, you're proving to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. You're building a foundation of resilience that will carry you through future challenges. Discomfort also forces you to confront your fears and limitations. It shines a light on the parts of yourself that need work. Whether it's a fear of failure, a lack of patience, or a tendency to give up when things get hard. These moments of discomfort are opportunities for growth. They're chances to confront the beliefs and habits that are holding you back and replace them with ones that empower you. Every time you face discomfort head on, you're not just growing stronger, you're also becoming more self-aware. The path to growth and fulfillment is not supposed to be easy. If it were, everyone would be living their dream life. What separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck is their willingness to face discomfort. They understand that the struggle is part of the journey, not something to be avoided. They don't shy away from hard work, failure, or uncertainty because they know that each of these experiences is a stepping stone to something greater. So the next time you feel discomfort creeping in, don't run from it. Lean into it. Treat it as a sign that you're on the right path, pushing yourself to grow and evolve. Remember that the things you're avoiding, the challenges that scare you or make you uncomfortable, are often the very things that will take you where you want to go. Discomfort isn't a barrier, it's a doorway. Walk through it, and you'll find the strength, clarity, and purpose you've been searching for. You've been through tough times before. You faced challenges, setbacks, and moments when it felt like the odds were stacked against you. And yet, here you are. That simple fact alone is proof of your resilience. But when you're feeling lost, it's easy to forget your own strength. Doubt creeps in, telling you that this time is different, that you're not capable, or that the obstacles are too big to overcome. These thoughts are lies. They're the voice of fear, not truth. Trusting your resilience means remembering who you are, what you've already endured, and using that knowledge to push forward. Life has a way of testing us. It throws curveballs that knock us down, disrupt our plans, and leave us questioning our direction. But every challenge you faced has prepared you for the next one. Resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. Every time you've fallen and gotten back up, every time you've faced a hardship and kept going, you've been strengthening that muscle. Your resilience is like a bank account built up through countless deposits of courage, determination, and grit. When you're feeling lost, it's time to withdraw from that account and remind yourself of what you're made of. One of the most powerful ways to trust your resilience is to reflect on your past victories. Think back to a time when you faced something that seemed impossible. Maybe it was a personal struggle, a professional hurdle, or an emotional low point. At the time, you might have doubted your ability to get through it, but you did. You found a way, even if it wasn't perfect or pretty. That moment is proof that you have what it takes to handle adversity. Your past struggles are not weaknesses, they're evidence of your strength. When you're lost, it's tempting to focus on what's wrong, on the uncertainty and fear that come with not knowing what's next. But resilience shifts your perspective. Instead of focusing on what you don't have or don't know, focus on what you've already achieved. Those achievements, no matter how big or small, are the foundation you can build on. They're reminders that you've overcome challenges before and can do it again. Resilience is about trusting the process, even when the outcome isn't clear. Trusting your resilience doesn't mean denying the difficulty of your current situation. It means acknowledging the challenge while reminding yourself that you're capable of handling it. Hard times aren't an exception, they're part of life. And while you can't always control what happens to you, you can control how you respond. Resilience is about choosing to face adversity head-on, to rise above your doubts and fears instead of letting them paralyze you. It's about taking one step forward, no matter how small, even when the road ahead feels uncertain. Another way to trust your resilience is to reframe failure. Society often teaches us to fear failure, to see it as a sign of weakness or inadequacy, but failure is not the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone to it. Every time you've failed in the past, you've learned something valuable. Those lessons have shaped you, strengthened you, and prepared you for the next challenge. Resilient people don't avoid failure, they embrace it as part of the journey. They know that every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. Resilience also means recognizing that you don't have to have all the answers right now. Feeling lost is not a permanent state, it's a moment in time. Just because you don't see the path clearly doesn't mean it's not there. Trusting your resilience means having faith in your ability to navigate through uncertainty. It's about taking things one step at a time, knowing that you'll figure it out as you go. You've done it before and you can do it again. Trusting your resilience is about believing in your ability to adapt. Life is constantly changing, and so are you. The person you are today is not the same person you were 5 years ago or even 1 year ago. You've grown, evolved, and learned from your experiences. That adaptability is one of your greatest strengths. It means that no matter what challenges you face, you have the capacity to adjust, to learn, and to overcome. Resilience isn't about being unshakable or immune to pain. It's about being willing to keep going even when it's hard. It's about trusting that you have the strength to face whatever comes your way, not because you have all the answers, but because you've already proven that you can endure, learn, and grow. When you feel lost, trust in that strength. It's always been there, and it always will be. When you're feeling lost, the tendency is to isolate yourself, to retreat inward and try to figure everything out on your own. But this is exactly when you need connection the most. Surrounding yourself with the right people, those who inspire, support, and challenge you, isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. The company you keep shapes your mindset, influences your decisions, and determines the energy you bring into your life. If you're serious about finding your way, you need to be intentional about who you let into your circle. Build a tribe that lifts you up and pushes you forward. The people around you are mirrors. They reflect your values, habits, and beliefs back to you. If you're surrounded by negativity, people who complain, make excuses, or settle for less, it's hard to stay motivated or believe in your potential. Their energy seeps into your mindset, making it even harder to see the way forward. On the other hand, being around people who strive for more, who are driven and resilient, inspires you to rise to their level. They remind you of what's possible and challenge you to push past your limits. The right tribe doesn't just support you, they expand your vision of what you can achieve. Building a strong circle starts with being honest about the relationships in your life. Who are the people you spend the most time with? Are they helping you grow or are they holding you back? This can be a difficult question to face because it might mean acknowledging that some relationships aren't serving you anymore. Letting go of toxic or unproductive connections doesn't mean you don't care about those people. It means you care enough about yourself to prioritize your growth. You deserve to be surrounded by people who genuinely want to see you succeed. Once you've cleared space for the right people, start seeking them out. Look for individuals who share your values, goals, or passions. They don't have to be in the same stage of life or working toward the exact same things, but they should bring positivity, ambition, and honesty into your life. These are the people who will hold you accountable, celebrate your victories, and challenge you when you're selling yourself short. They're not afraid to tell you the truth, even when it's hard to hear, because they want what's best for you. Connection doesn't have to mean finding a large group of people. Quality is far more important than quantity. Even 1 or 2 meaningful relationships can make a world of difference. A mentor who's been where you want to go, a friend who always has your back, or a partner who believes in you, these connections are invaluable. It's not about having people who fix your problems for you. It's about having people who remind you of your strength when you forget it. Another key to building your tribe is being the kind of person you want to attract. If you want to be surrounded by driven, positive, and supportive individuals, you need to embody those qualities yourself. Be the friend, mentor, or partner you wish you had. Lift others up, share your knowledge, and celebrate their successes. The energy you put out into the world comes back to you, and when you radiate positivity and determination, you naturally attract like-minded people. Your tribe isn't just about support, it's also about accountability. The right people won't let you settle for less than you're capable of. They'll challenge you to stay consistent, to push through obstacles, and to keep moving forward even when it's hard. They see your potential sometimes more clearly than you do, and they won't let you give up on yourself. This kind of accountability isn't about pressure, it's about having people who believe in you enough to push you toward your best self. Building a tribe takes time and effort. It's not something that happens overnight. It requires you to be vulnerable, to open up about your struggles and your goals, and to actively seek out meaningful connections. Attend events, join communities, and put yourself in environments where growth-minded individuals gather. Be patient and trust that the right people will come into your life when you're open and ready to receive them. Your journey doesn't have to be a solo one. Surrounding yourself with the right people gives you strength, clarity, and inspiration when you need it most. They remind you of your why, help you stay focused on your goals, and celebrate your progress every step of the way. No matter how lost you feel, the right tribe will help you find your way. In times of feeling lost, remember that you are not alone. Trust in your resilience, embrace discomfort, stay disciplined, and surround yourself with the right people. Your strength lies not in avoiding challenges, but in facing them head on and learning from each experience. Keep moving forward, one step at a time, and you'll find your way.